This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Groomer Humor on Pet Life Radio. We are your hosts. I'm Rudy V, along with Anthony Ray. Very excited about today's show, guys. We have a very special guest today. We have Sean Raub, owner and founder of CurePet. We had the liberty of meeting Sean and his dad, Jeff, at the World Dog Expo last month, and we're going to be talking to him today. But before we get to Sean, Ant, how was your weekend, man? How you doing, bud?
It was good. I'm a little exhausted. It's 4th of July just passed, so I was kind of stumbling a little bit. We had a good time. But hey, more importantly, how's the top of your head from last time I saw you? It looks like it healed a little.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm just starting to recover now. I think my skin yarmulke turned into literally just the parting of the Red Sea because I lost so much more hair, man. I'm really getting nervous.
Well, you don't have a whole lot to mess around with here, Dad. You have a very small window of, well, it's basically over, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of closed.
Yeah, I think follicles are just dying by the second. I honestly don't know what's going on. I like what you said a couple of shows back. You said, Dad, the funny thing is that's as good as you could look.
Yes. Man, that sounds so cruel. I said that?
Well, you are cruel, though. Yes, you did say it.
Well, you're cruel, too. You tell everybody I'm a friggin' alcoholic.
I don't tell anybody you're an alcoholic. And you're not an alcoholic. But you know what I think is happening, though? I think that my hair follicles are transferring to your beard. You got hairs crawling up your nostrils, man. Dude, trim it down.
I do. I'm going to do a new thing where I'm gonna shave my entire body completely every summer and then just grow it all out caveman style for the winter.
Ew. Dude, that sounds disgusting.
No. Dude, we work in a grooming shop. This is the place to be hairy. You could shave me down.
Ew, man.
You could. No, come on. I'm your son. You're supposed to love me.
No, yeah, but not like that.
No, come on.
I mean, well, we could charge huge amounts of money for that.
Oh, I'm like a 3-day grooming. I'd be a show groom.
You're going to need definitely some CurePet product on you just to die down the inflammation or something on your skin.
I'm not quite as welcoming, I guess, as you are. I don't have children coming up to me and sitting on my lap at the beach like you. Oh, they don't know that. You should tell them about that. How did that happen?
Oh, dude, we were down the shore this past weekend, and I mean, it was just crowded. We went on a Sunday. It took us 2 hours to get down there. It took us about another hour to get on the beach. When we finally got on the beach, though, it was just wall-to-wall people, typical Jersey Shore, especially this year. Jersey Shore is just packed. It's happening. And we're laying next to people. We're sitting next to people. And this cutest little baby, this 1-year-old baby, just comes up to me and sticks his arms out. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, where did he come from? So I look over and his parents are looking at me and I said, okay, is it okay? And he said, they were just like, yeah. Well, you hold him for a while we take in some sun. So here I am. I pick up their little baby and he's just sitting on my lap for the next 45 minutes, And every once in a while, the people would just look up and make sure he was still there. Like, it was the cutest little thing. And he just hung with me. That's how intimate it was at the beach. It was just a great time.
Yeah. We met somebody too. I mean, it wasn't quite that adorable. No random child came to sit on my lap, but me and my wife Jess, we went over to the water, and she doesn't know how to swim, so she was kind of scared to go in. But I just dove right on in, and we came out, and there was this girl there. I forget her name, and she was just talking to Jess because she was kind of afraid of the water too. And just as we met her, the lifeguard whistles really loud at somebody who was just swimming way far out, and instead of the guy swimming in, he flips the lifeguard lifeguard off first. So me, Jess, and this random girl that we just met at the beach are just standing there cracking up going, did he just flip the lifeguard off?
It's Jersey.
It was so Jersey and so funny. It was because we had just gotten there. It was the first thing that happened. So, I mean, it's been a great summer. So what a great weekend, because between you having random children come and spend some time with you to say hi, and
say hi.
You know, we got swimmers flipping off lifeguards who are trying to save their lives. It's been an interesting summer so far.
Yeah. Yeah, and even at you at the 4th of July party. We had a 4th of July party in our hometown of Elizabeth last week. And here, Ant, how did you end up like 2 blocks away from the party? Where did you go?
Well, there was a neighbor, and we had gone in the front yard to share cigars. Me and my cousins, who I haven't seen in a year, we wanted to share some stogies. So we went out there, and you know me, when I've had a couple, I'm very social. The poor guy that I walked over to bother was simply sitting on his porch and raised his drink and said, "Hey guys, happy 4th." So I take that as, oh, this guy wants to hang out with me for the next 45 minutes. So I wandered over and started bothering this poor man, talking to him about his life, and just, until you came and got me and said, "Hey, Ant, get back to, what are you doing?
What are you doing?"
I'm sitting on this guy's porch. Hey, you got a bathroom? I really got to go to the bathroom. I'm in this guy's house, and just
definitely, Anthony can have a couple, and his ego spikes for sure.
I can make friends with a rock when I've had a couple of beers. Yeah, Dad, the rock is cool, man.
Anyway,
all right. Yeah.
As we, let's get to our show. As we mentioned, we have very special guests. We got Sean Raub of CuraPet. We're going to be talking to Sean about some of the health benefits of CBD. We're going to find out what CBD is and what it does, and all that and much, much more when we come back on Groomer Humor.
We'll be right back, right after these messages. Stay tuned.
You know that feeling when you go to clean the litter box and it's a complete disaster? Yeah, we've got you covered. Introducing World's Best Cat Litter Zero Mess, the advanced litter that gives you 2 times better clumping and more odor control with less litter. Zero Mess combines the concentrated power of corn with super absorbent plant fibers. Translation: scoop once and you're done. Find it at a pet store near you and save $2. Visit www.saveonworldsbest.com.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
And welcome back to Groomer Humor on Pet Life Radio. Once again, we are your hosts. I'm Rudy V, along with my son, Anthony Ray. And as mentioned, we have a very special guest today. Sean, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Rudy and Anthony, for having me.
Absolutely.
Wonderful to be here.
Thank you so much, Sean. Yeah, it was a pleasure meeting you at the World Dog Expo and talking to you. And
Very
again,
much so. Great event.
Absolutely. So, Sean, let's just start from scratch. Why don't we tell people, for anyone that may not know, what is CBD and how does it work?
So CBD is cannabidiol extracted from the industrial hemp plant, or the Cannabis sativa L strain. But it's from the industrial hemp plant grown with less than 0.3% THC is the important thing, so that there's no trace amounts of THC in the product. But CBD is a wonderful anti-inflammatory that's activating the CB1 and CB2 receptors within the endocannabinoid system. And then once it's been activating those CB1 and 2 receptors, it's working on the anti-inflammatories, bringing in a sense of overall well-being throughout the body to help with anxiety, help with mood. CBD can also be used as an anti-inflammatory topically as well. So what we do is we extract the CBD from the industrial hemp plant and we process it down to the molecular level. And then we encapsulate that in a water molecule to increase the bioavailability, to increase the effectiveness for the anti-inflammatory properties. So whether we're administering the product sublingually or topically, we're still able to get those same great anti-inflammatory characteristics.
Wow.
That sounds amazing, Sean, and very, very interesting. I'm really glad that you did mention the THC because, again, we're going to get those off-the-wall questions, honestly, especially because we're trying to push your product here in our shop here. And we are going to get that weird question of, is this going to get my dog or cat high, being that it is coming from the cannabis plant? What would you say to that?
Certainly. I mean, obviously, that's one of the most popular questions out there. So the compound in which that promotes that high effect is the THC Delta 9, which is also found in the industrial hemp plant. In the industrial hemp plant, it's at a level of less than 0.3% of that plant is made up of the compound THC Delta 9. So even in the mature plant, we're still at such low levels that it will not have any of the psychoactive effects. So our industrial plant that we're using is grown with less than 0.3% THC compared to the marijuana plant where it can be in upwards of, maybe 25, 28% THC compound. And so in its raw form as a plant, we're still less than the 0.3%, but we actually process out 100% of that THC.
Wow.
So for our products in the shampoo, and our tinctures, it's just strictly a CBD compound there in the molecular form and 0.0% THC. So absolutely no trace amounts. Even if there were trace amounts, though, it's at such a low concentration that it does not bring on any of the psychoactive effects. But with the PurePet products, it's 0.0% THC.
That's awesome. So it's safe to say the product is very safe as far as that's concerned. So.
Very, very, very safe. Yep, there are
Awesome.
no concerns about any psychoactive effects from the PurePet product.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about some of the things that the CBD may help with. I know that in talking to you, the one thing that stands out in my mind is the anxiety and the phobia, which a lot of people may not understand that dogs do suffer from depressive situations such as we do. Can you talk a little bit about how it might help that out, Sean?
So whether it's depression, phobia, separation anxiety, a passing thunderstorm, somebody coming to the door, going to the vet. I mean, anxieties are something that our pets deal with, on a daily basis, just as many of us as humans do as well. And unfortunately, they have a very tough time being able to speak to us about those anxieties. And so typically it's in the form of, a visual, their tail between their legs, or they're shaking, or they go hide under the bed. But CBD isn't going to bring on any lethargy. It's just going to bring on a sense of peacefulness and overall well-being, decrease the anxiety levels. But with the nano emulsion that we use in our product, we have very, very fast-acting results. So whether your dog or cat has had a panic attack and is absolutely at his most stressful moment, you can administer the CBD, and you'll typically see some positive results there within the first 5 to 15 minutes.
Wow.
And then once that 15 minutes is up 15 to 20 minutes, for the most part, they're typically back to their normal state. And that's when it's given at their worst, most high stress moment. So if you know of a stressful moment coming up, you can administer the product hours beforehand, because with ours you get the 24-hour long lasting effect. So if your dog has separation anxiety, you're going to be gone throughout the day, administer it in the morning. Or if you know a thunderstorm is passing through in the afternoon, but you're going to be gone from work, you can give it to them 6 hours early. It's still going to help them through that anxious moment. Or a half hour early. You know that the fireworks are going to start at 10 p.m. Give it to them at 9:30. That way you've had the full 20 minutes to allow it to start to take effect. And hopefully at that point you prevented any panic attack from starting. Or highest stress moments, you can bring them out of it by administering CBD, they're at their highest stress moment. So it's not just a preventative measure either.
Wow. That's really interesting and could be so useful to some groomers because I know, I mean, me and my dad know very well that a lot of times some dogs have some severe separation anxiety. So, sometimes, like you just said, you could plan ahead. They could administer it before they drop them off at the groomer even. And, the dog will be much more relaxed all day.
Certainly, or something that, you even at the groomer, there's no concern about overdose. So there's no known lethal concentration that you can give of CBD. As well as it's only going to help support their entire body by supporting the endocannabinoid system. So as a groomer, if you were to get the owner's permission, you could simply administer it when they arrive, and then by the time you start, whether it's a bath or getting into, the grooming, you can, hopefully within that 15-minute window, it'll have started to take effect, and they should be much more calm by the time you're starting to handle them. So even whether it's them administering it beforehand or you guys simply administering it as well, it's something that you're able to see fast-acting results, and it doesn't bring on the lethargy, and that's the most important part. Our pharmaceutical drugs absolutely bring on lethargy and change the chemical makeup there of the brain. And CBD is an all-natural product, just, promoting an overall well-being and bringing that anxiety level down. But with its fast-acting results, whether they're giving it to them 30 minutes or you guys give it to them right there as they walk in the door, you're going to see the results before you start to handle them.
Wow. Yeah. That's really amazing. And with stuff like this, there's been so much new information coming out about it. Even with humans, we've been finding out a lot of information lately about, just things like this helping with some side effects or possibly helping with some side effects with cancer in humans. Is it the same for pets, Sean?
Oh, absolutely. So whether it's with pets or with humans, CBD used in conjunction with the cancer treatment as an anti-inflammatory, it's going to help decrease those inflammations that are causing the pain. It'll also help promote some healthier, help promote their appetite a little bit. And certainly that's something that's lost, through cancer treatment. So it also helps with modulating, and there's still lots of research being done with this, but with CBD helping to modulate cell death and cell growth. And where that's important is, many cancer cells aren't naturally dying on their own, which is allowing them to continue, to grow and spread. So CBD being used in conjunction with, a cancer treatment, it's going to decrease the inflammation, which is causing much of the pain. It'll help promote their appetite. And then it's also helping to modulate that cell death, which may help decrease the expansion of cancer cells.
Right.
We're seeing the same positive stories from the pet industry as we are on the human side as well for CBD. But we're still in the beginning stages of research.
You're only going to continue to learn about it more and more.
Yeah, we're at the tip of the iceberg. Every day we still hear new stories of different ways to use CBD, whether it's cleaning out the ears from allergies. I had a groomer tell me yesterday she scraped the dog pretty badly to the point where there was some inflammation there. You could see the scrape, but that shampoo, one wash, and it decreases the inflammation and redness there within the first 10, 15 minutes. So, I mean, whether it's a minor scrape or burn to the more severe ailments, every single day we learn new things about what CBD is capable of. We just, on the human side, we just had the FDA approve the first cannabis product for seizures, 2 products that are being released by the end of this year for seizures. So we're at the tip of the iceberg. It's an exciting time, but there's so many benefits that CBD can bring as an anti-inflammatory. Most diseases have a baseline of inflammation to them, so it can be used for so many different ailments.
Right. Yeah. Sean, I'm happy that you mentioned everything from cuts and scrapes and all the way down the line, because as groomers we see a lot of things for example hot spots, a lot of hot spots on pets at certain points of the year where we're at. So it's great to know that it even helps. It could even help with something like that.
So hot spots can be a frustrating thing that unfortunately I've had to deal with. Many people I know, with their pets have had to deal with. And it can be frustrating to clear that up. We have a soothing gel. We have a soothing gel that breaks down that inflammation, which is causing the agitation. And then the CBD is also helping to promote healing there. So it's going to help promote the growth of new cells there to help heal the area quicker. But the important thing is decreasing that inflammation that's causing the agitation, which is causing them to continue to lift and agitate at that hot spot. So if you can decrease the inflammation that's causing the agitation, that's the important thing to take care of first. And then it's starting to promote the healing and promote the growth of new cells in the area. So, but identifying the cause of that hotspot, whether it's a stress factor or maybe they've got a bulging disc in their spine that's causing pain and agitation. And so you may need to use, not just heal up that hotspot, but if it's a stress or there's another pain somewhere else, maybe you need to use another product. Maybe that's where you bring in the tincture to decrease the anxiety level or decrease the inflammation from an injury that's causing them to continue to agitate that one spot.
Yeah.
But understanding what the baseline is important too.
Sean, being groomers for such a long time here, I mean, we've been in the industry for over 33 years ourselves. So, within that, we see dogs go from puppy to older dogs, and we basically groom them their entire lives. And as the dogs get older, they are, as you know, just more susceptible to, the pain, the arthritis, the inflammation. I wish they had this, or I wish we knew more about this 20 years ago, because, again, we're very happy that we finally are touching the basis of curing or at least helping along some of these issues. We get a lot of older dogs, so we're actually excited to really educate people on Cure a Pet.
It's an exciting time right now because you have the opportunity to have an all-natural, organic product that has such incredible anti-inflammatory characteristics to it. And unfortunately, many of the problems that our older dogs have, are direct result of inflammation. And that's really where CBD can be so effective. And especially when you increase that bioavailability by using that nanoemulsion, you're able to deliver the CBD so effectively to the system to allow it to start to break down those inflammations and really give you some long-lasting effects and some long-term success with. You're able to decrease those inflammations. And so long as you can keep that inflammation under control, you can continue to provide the relief. It's actually breaking down the inflammation that's causing the pain as opposed to just masking, that constant pain that's there.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Which, we all want to do with our beloved pets, So, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk a little bit more to Sean, find out a little bit more, and find out where you could reach Sean. So we're definitely excited here, and we're going to talk a lot more when we come back on Groomer Humor.
Sit, stay. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dinovite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dinovite.
Dinovite for life.
Pick up 2 tubes of Doggo Suds.
Get the 3rd tube free.
Peppermint, tea tree, lavender, Doggo Sud shampoo.
Made with all-natural coconut, jojoba, aloe. Great for healthy skin and soft, shiny coats.
But no itchy, harsh chemicals.
Lather up, rinse away.
Try Doggo Suds. Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dinovite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to Groomer Humor on Pet Life Radio, everybody. My name is Anthony Ray, hanging out with my dad, as always, Rudy V, and our very special guest today, the owner and founder of Cure a Pet, Sean Raub. And we've been talking so far about the benefits of CBD. If you don't know what CBD is, it is a chemical compound found in the cannabis plant that's been found to have significant medical benefits without the psychoactive side effects that THC possesses. So it's very beneficial for your pet, very safe, and Sean has been telling us a lot about it. We've already covered a lot. It could help with anxiety and phobias and hot spots and epilepsy. Just the list goes on, and unfortunately we don't have enough time to really cover everything that it can do. So just to make sure that you guys out there can read up and learn as much as you possibly can about this, anything that we may not have covered today so far. Sean, do you have a website that everybody can maybe go and do a little bit more reading on, anything that we haven't covered so far?
Yeah, absolutely. It's www.curapet.com, and that's Curapet with a K, KURAPET.com.
That's great. This is very fascinating, and it's good. I think this is a very important process and product that people need to read up about, because I think it's going to benefit a lot of pets and give them a better quality of life and give them a fighting chance with some of this stuff.
Pets and owners alike. I mean,
that's right.
This is something that we're finding a lot. There's a lot of research on it helping with, possibly some of the more severe ailments like Alzheimer's and dementia. So, the research is happening right now, but, it's going to help both our pets and ourselves. That's for
absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to just, again, thank Sean for being with us today. Again, we are very excited about Curapet. We're excited about the obvious. Like Sean just said, if we're helping our pets, we are helping ourselves, who we all want the benefits of health. So again, we're just very, very thankful to have you on the show today, Sean.
Thank you, guys. This was great. I greatly appreciate it. I loved it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for stopping by, guys. As always, we'd like to thank our producer, Mark Winter. Thank you so much, Mark. Very special thanks to Sean Raub of Curapet for coming on and helping spread the word about this great product, this very beneficial product. Don't forget, guys, that's curapet.com with a K. Go check that out as soon as you can, so you can read more about anything we didn't get a chance to cover today, because there is a lot of information out there. And we'll be talking to Sean again in the future to cover more about it. If you haven't already, head on over to our YouTube channel. It's called Grooming by Rudy. That's Grooming by Rudy on YouTube.com. Leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. We want to hear from you guys. You could also like Grooming by Rudy on Facebook, follow Grooming by Rudy on Instagram. It has been an absolute pleasure. And until next time, take care of yourselves and your pets.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.